It's been a while. I don't think I have any of my old YouTube videos up anymore. I'm drawing right now. I don't really know how I want to start this. I think I'm gonna just do it and then title it. Okay, I'm about to wash my hair out. I think I kind of gonna update y'all on what's been going on in my life since I moved to LA. Ooh, I literally just put my camera in water. The last time I recorded a YouTube video, I was living in Oregon. I moved out to Los Angeles, not under the best circumstances, but it was what was best for me. I wasn't in the healthiest space. I got out of that space and I came here. When I moved here, I was living in this house, and I lived here for 6 months, maybe, yeah, a little bit more than 6 months. And then my birthday came along and I moved to the city with my aunt, because where I live right now isn't in the city, but I moved into the city and I stayed with my aunt for a while. I definitely was having a lot of issues with just going through life. I just didn't understand a lot of things that I do know now, just because of the lack of experience that I had. I'd be sad sometimes thinking about it, like I didn't finish high school, I didn't go to prom. My school was not always the best thing for me, so I don't know. I'm blessed to live the way I am, but it is what it is. But let's wash my hair out. Stayed with my aunt like 6 months, and then I got into a relationship, and I was running around in this little relationship, and you know, because of that, in the way that like I guess I was treating my blessing, she was like, you gotta move out, bro. And that was a good experience. I loved and appreciated it. In the beginning it was amazing, but I got really lost and caught up in things that I didn't need to be caught up in, and was paying attention, and the things that were important to me during some of those times shouldn't have been important to me and weren't real. And I just got caught up in a mentality and in a lifestyle that I did not need to live, and that wasn't right for me. Like, that's not something that is even stuff that I like, but I just applied with it. And, you know, I left and stayed with my grandma for a while on her couch, and I was going through it during that time. Like, that was like, I don't know, I felt really lost. Like, I didn't know where to go. I kept fucking myself up. Like, I could have my own place right now, but I'm just stuck with my money, and I get into these headspaces and I go spend all my money. Like, I'll spend it on other people, I'll get a bunch of tattoos, and I'll just put myself in a, like, I'll dig a deeper hole for myself, because I just don't feel like I deserve the things, and it's like a way to punish myself, and I had to stop doing that, and I have stopped doing that. I've gotten a lot better since then, but that was something I really struggled with. But it's okay, because, you know, you live and you learn. I'm only 18, I'm about to be 19 in a couple months, but like, we live and we learn. We do. And that's not anything to be ashamed of. Like, we all learn at our own pace, and you just have to learn it and apply what you learned. Like, you can't keep doing it over and over again after you learn. Like, that's something that I've been really focusing on, like not repeating the same patterns that obviously weren't working for me. Right now, like, I moved back where I was with my dad's dad. Like, I moved back in with him, and I've been here for a while, but I had to come here because I was really mentally fucked up. Like, I was really mentally gone in so many different areas. Like, I was hurting, bro. I understand what y'all meant, like, when you guys would be saying I miss you, like, I miss who you were, like, I don't understand. And I was like, why are y'all saying that? Like, I just grown mature. Like, no, I was being so negative and malicious and just had really evil intent around me all the time, and I just wasn't being myself because I had lost that. As long as you come back around, everything's gonna be okay. And, you know, we're here, and we're just gonna keep going. One thing that I felt like I did a lot was I didn't tell y'all shit, and I used to tell y'all everything because I didn't care. And it's like, we all live life, and like, we all have different experiences, and me sitting here filming and making art is showing you guys my experience. And being in LA made me feel really uncomfortable. Once I started hanging around and feeling the way people lived out here, like, it just wasn't it. People are very materialistic. I've never been like that ever in my entire life. I don't give a fuck. Like, never have I ever given a fuck about any of that shit. Like, I'm a human, you're a human. I cut you, you bleed. You cut me, I bleed. We all experience emotions and things. That has nothing to do with anything. Like, seriously, it's so third dimensional. Like, that's such a third dimensional thing. Like, shit is running so much deeper than that, and that's always how I thought my entire life. Shit, when I tell you, when I got out here, And I started hanging around all these things and started being where all these people were, where I was seeing videos and I was seeing all these people collab and having fun, like, and I started being around that. It honestly disgusted me, like, and I mean that, like, full-heartedly. Like, it disgusted me, and it made me sad. It honestly made me sad, because I'm like, y'all are so interesting. I could never move like you. I come from a place of love, and I come from I don't know, I'm such a family-oriented person. And not only that, like, I grew up in Oregon. People are nice there. People are nice. Like, that's just a default, like, being nice. Here, their default is defensive because of the shit that be going on here. Like, there's a lot of darkness in highly populated areas because there's so many different people experiencing so many different things, and especially in, like, high crime rate areas, whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. Like, it's scary. Like, a lot of scary shit be happening here. You can't trust anybody, but at the same time, you can trust yourself and your gut. And your gut and your intuition will lead you into positivity and to the things that you need to know, and you'll feel things out. But I know for a fact, like, when I first moved out here, there was a lot of things that I was really naive. I was very naive, and I got myself into a lot of situations that were very unsafe for me, that could have ended so many different ways. Like, yeah, they ended up really bad, but they could have ended up so much worse. So much worse. Like, I've been in some scary situations out here, and that was part of the reason why I was so paranoid all the time. I was being so negative because I was surrounded by all these negative ass situations and things and people that I put myself in. But I thought these people loved me, but they leached off of innocence and kindness and art. I don't know, you're not missing out on anything. These parties that all these influencers go to, and you see them posting, you're like, I want to be around all these people. Like, these are my mutuals too. Like, I want to hang out with them. Like, all those people are beautiful humans. They are truly, deep down, their soul is beautiful. But a lot of them are very lost, and I can't really judge that. I've been lost before. I've been extremely lost before. And, like, it hurts me to see it, but I understand it, and all I can do is hope that they get out of it. And I can't judge them for it. None of us can. Like, we don't understand what people are going through. We don't know what people have been put through or what is going on inside their minds. So all you can do is know what's best for you and know what situations you don't need to put yourself in. But just stay where you're at. Don't rush anything. When things are meant to be for you, they will be. Like, please don't rush anything. If you are, like, a creator and you're looking forward to being around all of these things, like, I promise you, don't rush it. When it's your time, it's time, and there'll be another flow of popping people that you'll align with, and you'll be able to hang out and create content and have fun together and all, like, flourish off of each other and flourish yourself. Like, that's one thing that I'm very blessed with, because I didn't gain an audience off of anybody else, and a lot of people move that way, where they, like, are creating with a bunch of people all the time, and that's how they gain their popularity, and then they have to keep doing that. If you're somebody like that takes skill in its own. Sorry, I have hiccups. That's its own type of skill. Like, I'd be impressed by people who do that, because that's a skill, but it's hard to maintain that when it's not 100% you. When you're not gaining audiences that are 100% you all the time, then it's gonna be harder to maintain it. Like me, like, y'all seen how many different cycles of interest I've gone through. Every single thing I've done has been 100% me. Every single thing that I touch and do does amazing if I wanted to, because it's something that's real for me and something that I love. And that's just some of my advice I give to younger creators, because when I moved out here, I really fell off of my whole art grind. Like, I was really doing my shit, and when I got out here, like, I lost that. I haven't really sold my art in a year, and that makes me sad, and I'm working towards getting that back up and running. But it's just how much of ourselves we lose chasing ideas and dreams of other people. The things that look cool to other people, if you chase that, you're gonna be lost. You're gonna be so lost if you're chasing those things. And that's coming from somebody who experienced that. That doesn't mean it for everybody, but at least for me, that's what happened for me. I chase my own reality and my own dream and what I think works for me. Like, the way I live, people could look at that and judge that. I don't give a fuck. Like, I love the way that I live. I'm happy and content with the way that I live and what I'm able to do for myself. Yes, I can do better, 100%, and I'm working towards that. That's the truth in it, man. I'm just being honest with y'all, because if I'm not gonna tell you, who will? Because a lot of these people, a lot of these creators, a lot of these people who have influence on others, big platforms, they don't say the shit that is real. They live behind that camera, and they're gonna feed you whatever reality they are choosing to feed you for those views and likes. And there's nothing wrong with that. But just know those things aren't real. They're real for them, but not 100%. Not all of it. A lot of people, like, cause I used to do it, I used to make it look like I was living some type of way when I wasn't. But who cares? Who gives a fuck? I did. I gave a fuck because I thought that people around me gave a fuck. If the people around me give a fuck about shit like that, why am I around people like that? That's what y'all need to think about too. If you're around people that give a fuck about certain things that you don't give a fuck about, don't be around those people. Why should we care about a third dimensional thing when we're in 5th, 4th, and 6th? Good shit. But let me wash this hair out so y'all can. Different things and different belief systems work for different people all the time. And so if what I'm saying doesn't align with you or doesn't make sense for you, then it's not for you, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be. One thing that really bothers me is when people are so judgmental of other people's views on life and their perspective, like especially with religion and spirituality. However you choose to look at life, as long as it's positive, and as long as it's helping you, as long as it's through love and some sort of light and isn't hurting you, then there's nothing wrong with it. Genuinely, as long as it's not hurting you in any way, there's nothing wrong with it. And that's how you choose to live, and that's okay. I'll never push my spirituality on anybody, but I will sit here and explain the way that I think and process life. If it does help you, then you take that and apply it to yours. Seriously. But here's my hair right now. It was so faded, it looks so much better now. I'm gonna be Coraline for Halloween. I just think as long as you're loving what you do, as long as you're happy with the things that are around you and the people that you love are people that love you back, as long as it's not fake and you know, then keep doing it. As long as you're continuing to grow, because you can always do better. Don't ever put yourself in positions where you don't think you can do better. You can always do better. Don't ever think you can't. There's always another high to chase. And one thing to also think about is when you're at your lows, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Don't look at it as a bad thing, and don't let that bring you so down that you do things that hurt yourself. Because those lows bring us to higher highs. When we're experiencing sadness, like, we can't have happiness, we can't have pleasure, we can't experience joyful things without those negative things, that pain, that hurt. We have to go through those things. It's a balance. When y'all sit here and tell me you don't like my dark art, or you think it's weird and you prefer my da-da-da-da, that's fine. You can prefer what you prefer. But also look at it in the light of, we all experience these emotions, and this is how I'm choosing to feel them. This is how I'm choosing to deal with them. Like this shit right here. I was really hurting when I made that drawing, and then I painted it, and it made me feel a lot better. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I have so much balance. Like, I create so much different type of art, and no matter what I'm creating, that shit is always me. That's something I'm feeling. I create the best when I'm able to experience the balance of both good and bad, and both negative and light. Like, I'm positive and negative and dark and light. Like, when I'm able to experience all those things with a positive mind about it, I create better. I'm at my highest form of vibration, and I'm able to, if you can't understand your shadow self, if you can't understand your negative and your dark, and you can't open up yourself to your evil, you will never truly feel what it feels to just be not even at a balance, but at peace with everything in your life. Because that negative shit ain't bad. That negative shit helps us feel good. That negative shit helps us understand, and we learn. We learn. Don't ever close your mind off. Don't ever close your mind off, because you can keep learning always. There's always so much. No, we don't know anything. We don't know anything, bro. Like, especially if you haven't traveled ever, you know nothing. Not a damn thing. There's so much other ways of life, so much other cultures and just things that they're not wrong. And you can't sit here and be like, well, that doesn't fit me, so they're wrong. Nobody's wrong. Everybody's always half right about everything. You're always half right about everything. Even the things that you're right about, you're always only half right. And that's the most right you can be. Look at shit that way and nothing will ever confuse you. Because you're never fully right about shit. There's always there's always another side. If not, there's more than that. There's so many different perspectives and views to see things. And especially as a human, like, nobody's gone through what you've gone through as a human. Only you know you. Only you know your entire experience. And even then, we don't even know ourselves to the fullest capacity that we can. Because we're still going through it. So, if you can't sit here and be open to the possibility of all these new things and adventures in your brain and life, then you're never gonna, not never, let me not say that. You're holding yourself back from what could be. Without that open mind, open perspective, and open light of all the things around you, you won't be able to, you'll have a harder time experiencing what all you can experience. And I feel like everybody should experience those things. And it's okay if you don't. And don't be hard on yourself. One thing that I go through and I have a hard time with is, like, I have a lot of older people around me. I really do. Like, a lot of people around me are older. Not in, like, a bad way. It's just because people my age aren't at the level of understanding. Not all of them. A lot of them can be. But I don't meet a lot of people my age at the level of understanding that I am mentally. Just because a lot of people my age haven't gone through all the things that I have gone through as a person. So because of that, a lot of people around me are older because they have gone through more life and have experienced more things and are able to understand things that I also understand. And I also surround myself with people who inspire me to do better. I like to surround myself with people who I can learn from, people that are above me in some aspects, so I can take away and be like, okay, this is how they're doing it. Cool, I understand that. Maybe that's not 100% what's gonna work for me, but I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna learn from it, I'm gonna apply it, and I'm gonna get to that point. So I don't know, but one thing I do is I put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm only 18, bro. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I'm able to survive right now. Like, I'm 18 and I've been out here since I was 17. Like, I don't need to do all the things that I feel like I need to do right now, but at the same time, like, I will get there. Those are things that I will accomplish. Just, it takes time. It takes time to get to the places we need to be. You have to be in love with the process to get to the goal. You have to be in love with the process to get to the goal. If you're not in love with what brings you to the place that you want to be, you're not going to get there as quick, or you're not going to get there at all, because you're going to be dreading those moments that you need to grind and work to get to where you want to be. You have to be in love with that fucking process. Seriously, like, when it comes to anything, like, when it comes to making a painting, to when it comes to sitting here grinding and making money, like, you have to love what it is that's going to bring you to where you want to be, or it's going to be really hard for you to get there.